Hi, Jai Baba. I'm starting should I call it series? Okay, starting a series on things that might matter to us. Planning to interview spiritual masters, anybody who can help us move on this path with dignity and well-being. They might not be very well known, but they have something phenomenal to contribute. So I hope this might matter. It does matter. Jai Baba. Hi, Jai Baba. I'm very proud and privileged to have on This Might Matter Madabusi Subramaniam. Mr. Subramaniam is a very silent master in the lineage of Kriya Yoga, the Bengal tradition of Shaktipata, and various healing modalities. He's a disciple of Satya, Charan, Lahiri, who is the grandson of the great Lahiri Mahasaya, and Nithai Charan Banerjee, and has gained mastery over all the parts of Kriya taught by the great Sri Lahiri Mahasaya. Mr. Subramaniam has also authored 3 books: Unveiling the Secrets of Reiki, Bright, Brilliant Light, and At the Feet of the Master. Currently, Mr. Subramaniam is initiating disciples on the path of Kriya Yoga. And though he may not be known to the general public, trust me, I've had the privilege of on and off being in touch with him, and he's one of the real ones. Okay? So let's start the interview. Jai Baba. So, first and foremost, very importantly, in a few lines, if you could just talk about who you are and your life, because it is very important in the first video that, something about you comes forth.
Yes, okay.
Yeah. Yes, sir, begin.
Yeah. Right from the age, my college days, I had interest in practice of yoga. And as a child, I was more devotional and seeking who am I, something like that.
Okay.
Starting from Raman Maharshi's small pamphlets. By the way, as a child, I might have met Raman Maharshi.
Okay.
That's what the parents told me. They had taken me to ashram and all that. The devotional side was more on going to temples, doing bhajans and all that. Spiritual side is starting with the pranayam, reading autobiography in my 20s.
Yes.
And searching further and further. Sometimes I became a monk for a small duration. And I had the class 1 services in Tata Institute of Fundamental Research. After some contract period, I quit and then went over the Himalayas, Kedarnath and all that, roaming around, searching for some masters. At one time, an astrologer, palm leaf reader, told me on a specific day, have the darshan of Shiva. I was no idea what that meant was at that time. Suddenly, a few days before, I had applied for leave, went around, And I happened to be going from Kedarnath, Gangotri to Gomukh on that particular day predicted. He coincided immediately. Then he said it will be at the time 11:30 or something in the afternoon. So I had to walk around 18 kilometers there. And I was searching, is there any saint? How do we know who is a famous saint here? I would like to say that this prediction was Sadhu came with long matted hair, with Trishul in his hand, and one commander. He was coming towards me. I didn't have any idea who he is. I only said, let me ask him. Let me ask him, is there any famous saint where I can go meet and learn something? He can bless me. So when he neared him, he did not speak. He only wrote on a plate with a chalk piece whatever questions I had, he had written only. Then I wanted to take leave of him and I asked him final question then, is there any Baba, is there any ashram where I can go? Then he wrote on that Mauni Baba in Hindi. I read Hindi, Mauni Baba. And it didn't strike me, he himself is not speaking, he himself is saying Mauni Baba. He is saying Mauni Baba. Does he refer to himself? It didn't strike me. I thought Mauni Baba ashram is somewhere and I have to go there. I was about to take leave. He said, are you hungry? 2-3 days I have not eaten food, obviously I was hungry. But that was not in my consciousness. Yes, says I am hungry, I said. Then from Kamandalu he took a roti, good roti, and gave me, and I ate it. I was very much pleased that I am hunger satisfied. What is the hunger satisfaction means? That didn't occur to me at that time. Then he asked, are you thirsty? After taking food, I need some water. I just said, I am thirsty. From the same kamandal, he poured water in a small coconut type of bowl. It's a wooden bowl or something. I took water also. The hunger and thirst, what he really meant, I knew later. And he took leave. I was just seeing him going. To the extent it didn't even strike me to bow down to him at that time. I thought he is an ordinary saint. He went and he was just moving far away, going smaller and smaller. Suddenly, he was not there. That is the time I understood this person is not ordinary person. He simply appeared to me and then he vanished. Later on, when I reflected, I correlated with the timing and the prediction of the Nadi leaf reader. And that was exactly some 11:54, something like that. I had a watch at that time also. Exactly that time, within those few minutes only I met him. But that does not bring me anything concrete. Only thing is that my journey is there. I must keep up my hunger. I must keep up my thirst for God. That was the message I took. And there is somebody overlooking me. In time, they will come. That was the message I received from that incident. Of course, it was an encouragement. Later on in life, I pursued Kriya Yoga along with my profession, whatever it was. I was introduced to the Kriya Yoga tradition. Babaji is a master of the tradition, Lahiri Mahasaya, and then various disciples. So In 73, I was in Bombay, grandson of Lahiri Mahasaya, Satya Charan. He had come to Bombay and I was initiated by him, learned the pranayama, Kriya Yoga there. We were about 6 people and he said, it's a Sanskrit sloka, I don't know readers will understand it or not. One who shows that state of consciousness, tat padam darshitam yena, that is what the Sanskrit bodies is the Guru. He touched my forehead and he taught me how to maintain seeing the light by a particular process called Yoni Mudra. And then he says the door through which you enter is only Guru, and that door is within you, and that is in your forehead. That is the entry point. So I've been practicing Kriya Yoga for a long time throughout. I met so many other saints also in the same tradition. And I had the opportunity of seeing whatever is the ancient record made by Lahiri Mahasaya himself, his spiritual experiences and all that. Of course, it's written in Bengali language. His grandson permitted me so to see those records. I also went to one of the disciples of Lahiri Mahasaya. His name is Panchanan Bhattacharya. The correspondence between them is asked a Guru, he replies. It's all technically on how to practice it. So those things I had. I could understand the complete compilation of the Kriya Yoga practices of through different disciples of Lahiri Mahasaya, and then as it was more a curious collection, including what I practiced. Some I knew, some I did not know. Later on, I went to different science and tried to clarify those things. Clarity came. And gradually, after the permission obtained from my gurus, Satya Charan Lahiri, as well as one of the disciples of Panchanan Bhattacharya, his name is Nithyananda Banerjee, one from Banaras and one from Calcutta. I started teaching that a little bit in very small way, those who come to me. Later on, after the passing away of my guru, as per his instruction, I started teaching a little bit more. And in 90s, I started teaching more. And inwardly, I never left the practice of Kriya Yoga in some form or other. I teach, I practice, I share the experience, I speak, and mostly what I speak is only extempore, not prepared. And if it is specific questions like that, wanting to know about my life, what I practice and all, then it has to be specific, recollected my past and giving a reply. So that's about my spiritual life.
Is there something that one can do to appease the planets via Kriya Yoga?
Okay. Before understanding the term Kriya Yoga, we need to know the breathing, the heartbeat.
Hmm.
My answer may be not to the point, little bit elaborate. It is good to understand. We were in mother's womb and we didn't know anything at that point of time. No breathing, no heartbeat, nothing.
Hmm.
Who gave the first electrical shock which the baby received in mother's tummy, and his heart kick-started? From that time, started breathing. We grew up in the mother's womb. Once the heart started beating, not our effort. We never breathed, but still for 9 months we grew up in mother's tummy.
Hmm.
Only heart breathing, no breathing. There was no breath work, anything of that kind. But still we became a human being. What was that? Some scriptures of some religion says God breathed into the nostrils and man became a human being. Not logical, mythological, but is there a link? What science does not explain? Can we say some mythology has explained? Maybe the mythology explained the science could not explain itself. Who gave the first kick to the heart to start?
Yeah.
So sometimes they go parallel. Now, you didn't know the system of breathing, but still we grew up to 9 months and came into the world. Only when we want to exchange the oxygen of the air to purify our blood, then the breathing became necessary. Till then, mother's breath was there. Now you cut the umbilical cords, then breathing becomes necessary and start breathing. Now, very natural. Everything in breathing is naturally arranged. If you are to work hard, heartbeat faster, you breathe faster. If you rest, it's slow. So there is no manipulation anywhere. If you get angry, blood flow is more and breathing is faster. Nothing is manipulated. Then what is this manipulation for? Why is the breath work for? Is it meant for just things like health of the body, health of the emotion, health of the mind, or restoring the life for whatever blockages we have? Is it meant for that? Or is it something beyond? My answer is, it is meant for all this, but primarily for something beyond. Primarily for something beyond. In Kriya Yoga, we say Paravastha, the state of consciousness beyond. That is Paravastha. So that can be tapped only when we go into a state, the heart and the breathing, to a level that we were in mother's womb. So you tap into certain primordial force, and that primordial force flowing down to the different bodies we have, up to the physical body, corrects everything else. The chakras are different lokas. That is where the planets are. For example, the lowest two chakras are the slowest moving planet representation, Saturn. The next chakra, coccyx, above coccyx, sacral. Then next fastest moving is Jupiter. Then one above that, navel. It represents Jupiter, Mars. It is slightly faster than Jupiter. So that represents Jataragni, Mars, third chakra. Then little above, if you come to the heart, it's Venus. It's faster than Mars. And then anything related to Venus can be rectified by meditating there. And one above is Mercury, what we take in, planet of intellect, we grasp, intelligence is grasping only. So one above is here, moon, mind. So all the chakras representing the 9, 12, 7 planets, and all the records, all the manipulations which takes place because of the movement of the planets with reference to their original position, forming certain good and adverse angles, moving through friendly rasis or unfriendly rasis, have an effect, and those effects are first felt on the chakras.
Swadhisthana chakra. That is governed Jupiter. Then you have the Manipura.
Manipura, that is Mars.
Mars. Then you have the Ahanta.
Heart. Anahata is
Venus.
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 This is Mercury.
Visuddhi.
Anahata. This is Vishuddha, Mercury.
Visuddha.
This Agnya Chakra is Moon.
Moon. And this, the Sahasrara?
That one has to be Ketu. That is beyond. There is no
Ketu.
head. And Rahu is below the Saturn. Below
Okay. And
that is what the Kundalini serpent is.
okay. And what about Surya? What about Surya?
Surya is taken to be the heart, life, source of life.
So you mean Venus and Surya are here in the heart chakra?
The inner sun.
The inner heart. The inner heart. Okay.
The effulgence in the cave of the heart.
Okay. So
that is what the Gayatri mantra is.
Okay. So what you're saying is that let us say somebody Shani is either deliberated or there is that 7 years Shani period going on the Saraswati.
Yeah.
So what you are saying is via a particular breathing, that planet can become Shant.
The effects of the planets affecting you can be shielded by doing something at the Muladhara chakra.
Okay. So
and one of the Kriyas explains that.
Okay.
Though when teaching that Kriya, we don't say it is for Saturn. But what happens is taking care of that. We don't want to dilute down the goal of Kriya into smaller aspects of life management.
Okay. Is there a particular breathing? Is there one kind of breathing which can harmonize all the chakras related with each planet?
Systematically, step by step.
Step by step.
That one we cannot straight away go into it. The body has to be trained.
Okay.
So by the way of training the body, we go to different levels, different kinds of breathing. The ultimate rise takes care of everything. And when you do the ultimate breathing, the body needs to be trained from normal breathing to slow breathing to extremely slow. And it goes to the extent of breathing in for about 22 minutes, not seconds, minutes.
Okay.
Beginning is seconds, the ending is minutes, one breath.
Okay.
So lifetime practice or many lifetime practice.
Yes. Let's start with Saturn. Let's start with Muladhara. What would you suggest? What kind of breathing or what kind of chant or what kind of modality where if a person practices this particular breathing, can effects of Shani be reduced?
Okay. You take the pattern of number 8.
Okay.
8 also means karma.
Okay.
Okay. We can visualize the pattern of 8.
Okay.
We write 8 like this. First we write yes and the mirror image of yes. It completes yes.
Yeah.
Now if you start from the end and go to the beginning, instead of normal writing, start from the end and go to the beginning.
Start from the end would mean like this.
Yeah, you normally write this way.
Yeah.
Where I end, I start and go reverse.
Okay.
Okay.
Could you, sir, could you draw it and show the viewer?
Yeah. I am writing 8 like this.
Yes.
Normally.
Yes.
Okay. Now I want to write ulta.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that visualization we do, right, just in the mental picture, Then copy paste it on the Muladhara Chakra, end of the
Okay.
spinal cord.
Yeah.
Now your mind or attention is at that point, and you start writing 8, the way I showed
In the Muladhara
in
Chakra.
the Muladhara.
And you write.
What happens when you completely breathe out?
No.
The prana is supposed to be in Muladhara.
1 minute, sir. So when you say you visualize the number 8 in your Muladhara, write 8. That time also you're writing the Ulta 8.
Always. Writing is always Ulta 8.
Okay. So
Ulta Japata Ram. Mara Mara Javke Valmisi attained the moksha.
Okay.
So the reverse has some meaning in the spirituality. We came in and we have to take a reverse turn.
Okay, so now let's say I'm writing 8 in the Ulta 8 in the Muladhara, and I focus my attention in the Muladhara.
And also keep writing 8.
And also keep writing it. Okay.
And also holding the breath.
Acha, you hold your breath whilst writing it.
I need to explain where breathing in and breathing out, the prana, the life force, supposed to flow from heart to nabi and back to heart. In, out, like that. Now, if you breathe in little more, it goes up to Muladhara.
Muladhara, yes.
Breathe out little more. Breathe in little more, it comes up to this.
Yes.
So the travel you make from these two, from forehead to the Muladhara, by extending the breath longer, and breathing in is also longer, out is also longer.
Okay.
That day you read that. Now, Muladhara Chakra corresponds to completely breathing out. Completely breathing out and staying there.
Okay.
And mentally keeping the attention as well as writing going on.
Okay. One question. When you say that you have to write the Ulta 8 in the Muladhara Chakra while holding your breath, but what happens when you are taking in a breath and exhaling your breath? Do you continue writing it, or you only write it when you hold your breath?
You write when you are holding the breath.
Yeah.
To the extent you can hold.
Yeah.
Maybe a few seconds, 5 seconds, 10 seconds. After beyond that, you cannot do. Then you do a normal breathing. You have rested enough. Give a pause for 1 or 2 minutes. If you can do again, do again.
Okay.
Maybe 5, 10 seconds. Give a pause for another 2 minutes. Do it again.
Okay. And
it's a kind of meditation.
Yes, and when you're holding the breath, let's say I'm holding the breath for 30 seconds. So do I only one Ulta 8, or do I continue writing Ulta 8 still I'm holding my breath?
To write once, you may take 4 to 5 seconds.
Yes.
Go slowly.
Yes.
Clearly you write 4 to 5 seconds. Suppose you are able to hold for 10-15 seconds only. Do it only 3 times.
Yes, that is what I'm asking.
Take a pause, do a normal breathing, even 5 minutes gap. Then do it again for another 15 seconds. Even 20 minutes, 25 minutes you do once or twice a day.
Yes,
4 or 5 times you will write.
Yeah, so that is what I'm asking. So this way, the impact and effects of Shani Dev reduce.
In a way, not block.
Okay, now could this breathing, let's say somebody is, Shani is powerful, somebody Shani is powerful. So could this breathing enhance the power of Shani Dev in your horoscope?
If the Shani is special, good, for him, the patience level also will be good.
Yes.
Patience level also will be good. And he will be able to do things slowly, especially slow breathing will be good. And Shani gives a saintly character. this meditation and all is a saintly activity, he'll be able to do it better. To such a person where Shani is good, the negative effects of Shani will not be felt that much.
But would you recommend somebody Shani is good to do this?
Anyone who has a Sadhasiddhi or Ashtam Shani, or any time Shani makes an unfavorable aspect with natal moon, they can do at that point of time.
No, but sir, I'm asking you a specific question. I have a friend whose only planet in the entire horoscope, which one would consider favorable, is Shani Dev. All the other planets are in houses which do not favor this individual. Right? Now, can this individual do particular meditation to enhance Shani Dev's power in a more favorable way in that person's life?
Before asking that person to do, the person who is suggesting will do as though she is doing. I am that person, I am doing for you.
Let's say there is somebody whose Shani Dev is placed very favorably in the planet, in the horoscope. By doing this meditation, can one get greater benefits of Shani Dev's blessings?
Enhancing, yes.
Okay. So, is there any mantra that person should chant whilst doing this, or just focus on the 8?
Mantra question, I'm not willing because some people have different religious affiliation and deity affiliation.
Yes.
So, asking suddenly to say Shani mantra will not be universally applicable.
True.
They can choose to say Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Okay. So now this is for Saturn, that is Muladhara.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Now we come to Swadhisthana Chakra. That is which planet?
That is Jupiter.
That is Jupiter. So how do you, enhance Jupiter or make sure that the hardship which can be caused by the planet is taken care of via breathing?
The different aspects of life are affected differently.
Yes.
At the same time. That means all the planets are what? Some favoring, some not favoring, some areas, some different areas. Therefore, as a rule, if all the chakras are taken care, maybe 7 days in a week, so each chakra take 1 day and do the breathing on chakra on that day. So in 1 week, you are covering the whole planets.
Yeah, but for Jupiter, like for Saturn, you had number 8. So for Jupiter, what is there?
No, the number 8 must be there. It is a karma removal.
Okay,
so 8 will remain.
It is there for all the planets. It is there for all the planets.
Only the place will depend. Which chakra?
How do you do it for Rahu and Ketu? Ketu and Rahu.
You will have to say the sky chakra and the earth chakra.
The sky chakra.
That is 1 meter above the head.
Okay.
And maybe in the ground. 1
meter under the ground.
Oh.
Okay. So
you are seated below and above.
Okay. So now for Rahu and Ketu, which are the best days to do the chakra meditation?
Generally, Saturday and Tuesdays are designated.
So Tuesday is Rahu and Saturday is Ketu.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And so this is very beautiful, sir. I think this is very simple and very beautiful.
Anybody can practice
Anybody,
it.
anybody can do
Take
this.
the attention there, hold the breath, and then do it for 10-15 seconds. Take a pause for 1 or 2 minutes, then another 10-15 seconds like that, and 10-15 minutes you do.
Okay. Now, this pause that you're talking about for 2 minutes, is it mandatory, or if a person is comfortable in, breathing, holding, exhaling, taking a pause of 10-20 seconds, again breathing, holding, and exhaling, is that also okay?
Depending on the ability of your
Yes,
body
exactly.
and the age,
Yes.
If you are able to do the figure of 8 pattern, let us say 3-4 minutes to figure it once. You can continuously do for 36 times.
Okay.
So it will be more than a minute.
Yes.
It will be more than a minute. You cannot in the beginning do it. Nobody. So it has to be trained. That's why the separation of do 3 times, take rest, and again 3 times like that.
Okay, sir. So this question has been answered. Now we'll move to the second question.
Yeah.
There is a lot of talk about Nazar, evil eye, black magic. Is there anything where Kriya teaches via breathing to protect the physical, astral, and causal body via breathing?
The physical breathing, as long as it is in the normal breathing rate, you are in the physical body.
Yes.
If the breathing rate slows down, say 1/10 the normal rate, then you are touching the astral. Even beyond, deeper. So all the effects start from the astral, the chakras in the astral, the blessing or the curse come from the astral. Blessing or the curse, both. Evil eye and all is of that category, curse category. So you need to go to that level of breathing. It takes a long time to practice and then achieve that level. Once you achieve that level of slow breathing, then do that slow breathing, taking the attention up and down the spine. That cuts all those negative things entering your aura, which are called black magic and other things.
So what you're saying is when an individual gets the ability through practice and discipline to breathe slowly and breathe out slowly, and then you visualize the energy going from the Muladhara upwards and upwards and down. That is the time the individual is protected from all these negative vibrations.
Astrally.
Astrally. Okay. Now a question. What do you mean by slow breathing? Could you show it to us? What exactly are you saying? Slow breathing means what?
Now, if I look at a stopwatch and breathe in, 4 seconds. One breath.
Okay.
Now you go on extending that song. In the beginning, you can take a stopwatch. You breathe in for say 5 seconds and breathe out for say 5 seconds. If that is comfortable, fine. Then after a few days, when you are regularly practicing, the 5 can be increased to 7, 8. Then after a month, it can be reduced to 10, 15. Like that, you watch from the stopwatch. Now you know how slow you are. Then without seeing that, you can go.
Do you have to hold your breath, or it's just inhaling and exhaling?
Circular, no holding anywhere.
No holding the breath. When you say the astral body, how far is the astral body from the real physical body?
If within a small box, another box is there. Within that, another is there. Within that, another is there. It's like that. It's not a distance, it is a superimposition.
Okay. And so basically what you're saying is the karma is lodged in the astral body. Blessing.
Yeah, when you die, you take the karma.
Yeah.
Physically, you are here, and astrally, you are elsewhere.
Okay.
When you come back, you take back here.
And what about the causal body?
It's deeper than that. Still, it causes.
And can Nazar black magic affect the causal body?
Yes, yes, yes. Generational curse, where does it come from?
How does one rectify or remedy that?
When all the three granthis means knots. There is a knot, mental knot, there is an emotional knot, and the existential knot. The very existence is a knot, is a bondage. The very emotion is a bondage. The very thinking is a bondage. Bondage of the mind, bondage of the emotion, bondage of your physical existence. All the three has to go. The Kriya is designed only to get all the three out finally by systematic slower breathing and systematic elongated breathing, say up to 22 seconds. Finally, existential bond is difficult to break. It takes few life cycles. If this is our last life, then yes, in this life, whether you break it or not, when last moment comes, we'll be breathless for a longer duration of time. Or we may be breathing very, very slow towards the end. If this is the last breath. If this is not the last breath, then that will not happen. Even if you don't practice, it will all of a sudden come in the end.
We have different kinds of karma related with different kinds of bodies. So you have the astral body, which has its own karmic volt. You have the causal body, which has its own karmic stuff. And the physical body has its
own. If
yes.
you are physical workout, you need a physical body.
Yes.
When there is no physical body, there is some other kind of workout. In causal body, there is some other kind of workout. The karmas have to be subtler, subtler, and subtler.
What if the black magic or Nazar or evil eye has affected an individual's physical body? Would this breathing help in that?
Physical body is easy to remove. Physical body is easy to remove, not deep-rooted. It has come only to affect the physical body.
So how do you remove it?
The holding of the figure of 8 for gradually longer duration. That means 36 into 4-5 seconds, nearly more than a minute. They may not be able to practice that much, especially affected person. Somebody else has to do it.
How does that person do it?
Suppose you are able to do one, you do it. And if you want to spiritually transmit that to the person who is receiving it, you connect your heart with the person's heart. Just as though you are both coming nearer, and merging. That is a transmission.
And you continue visualizing the 8 in your chakras, and because your heart is connected, it transmutes to the other person.
Yeah.
Okay. So you don't visualize anything in that other person. You're doing it in yourself, but because the heart is connected, it transmutes to the other person, right?
If you have a fire does not cut what rubbish is there. Fire's job, it does.
Okay. How can an individual, via the Kriya breathing, remove certain limitations of weaknesses, like it could be anger, it could be ego, it could be jealousy, lust. Can an individual, via breathing, focus and remove that particular limitation or weakness that the individual is, struggling with?
All right. The mind going out, the senses going out, or the mind turned in, or the senses turned in. Let us look at it this way. If the mind or senses turn out towards the objects, you grasp the world. So that gives an input to the mind. That input to the mind causes a positive or a negative emotions. Positive emotions, fine, you enjoy. Negative emotions, you fall into a trap. Jealousy, anger, pride, any number, doesn't matter what it is, any number. Whatever it is, a thought, and some thoughts supply from outside because of the sense moving out, or collect from memory. Anything, whatever is in store, suddenly it comes to the surface or from outside world. So the idea is how to withdraw the senses in, how to make mind slow down. So what do we do here is the withdrawal of the sense, what in yogic terminology is pratyahara, withdrawal of senses. When it withdraws to what? Withdraws from the outside and going where? It goes in. When it goes in, there is an inner splendor. We are not knowing. That inner splendor we are seeking out unnecessarily, thinking that senses is going to provide. The lack of knowledge that the inner splendor is different from the outer splendor, and the wrong way of speaking the inner splendor outside. That is lack of wisdom. So Gyan Marg people seek it that way. Yogis turn the senses in, and the senses tell you there's inner splendor, there is a divine effulgence, there is a divine smell, and there is a amrita taste, divine taste, and you become so very light. All that senses turning inward is telling you. Today मुझे अच्छा लगता है, why? Because my senses inward, it is enjoying the inward pleasure. So everything, what the senses give you from outside, the senses give you 100 times more from inside. We may have a small purse in the pocket, but my bank account is big. It's like that.
Is there some kind of a particular breathing that can help the normal person who has not meditated, who has not been in any kind of pranayam? Is there a particular breathing that can help to control emotions like anger, reaction, lust, greed, pride, jealousy?
Okay, now we are putting into one box, and we say the remedy is slow breathing. Not that alone. Little bit more awareness of now. There is an anger, and I don't want to analyze the anger, but I would like to know what can help for the analyze to die down, the anger to die down. One way is unknowingly I express anger, I shout. Spara the moment, that is expression. I gulp it down, that is suppression. I can even simply let it go. I can let it vanish by itself.
How?
That needs a little bit training, little bit questioning.
Yeah.
Am I insecure? Is that why I get anger? Am I not accepting the thing? Is that why I'm getting anger? Do I want to change things? Is that why I get anger? Do I want to control things? Is that why I get angry? Do I feel unloved? Is that why I get angry? Supply the needs. Anger is because of something lacking. Supply those lacks. And who will supply it? It will not fall from a man. You will say, I permit myself to feel even more secure. If you say it a few times, maybe after 2 minutes, you check the feeling level. Feeling is the key. You have to note down the feeling. Thoughts are unimportant. Thoughts have generated a feeling. Check the feeling. Now, you will yourself know the feeling is down either naturally or by this learning. Similar way, you can take love. I permit myself to feel even more love. And after 2 seconds, you feel the love factor is increasing and the anger factor is reducing. It is by practice, maybe a few minutes. Any one area. It could be control, it could be security, it could be lack of acceptance. Whatever you feel is the present situation applicable, do that. 5 minutes maximum. In any way, naturally, the impulse will die down. And by doing this, it will die down faster. By a slower breathing, as a matter of fact, as a sadhana, as a spiritual reflection, the getting disturbed because of negative emotion will be shorter and less frequent.
Do you recommend any particular kind of breathing for this?
Do it slowly, equal,
Hmm.
in and out equal, to the extent you can do it slowly. Start with 5-6 seconds, go to 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds. It'll take about 6 months to go to 20 seconds.
Okay, sir. What we will do is we will stop here for today.